Okay, today I will be developing a photograph using Gimp 2.8, and the photograph I will develop actually looks fairly good, so I don't know how much we're going to actually need to do with it. One nice way to open a photograph in Gimp is you can drag it straight to the work window. In Linux, just like in Windows and I believe Macintosh as well, you'll often receive this convert to RGB. Always say convert. Okay, let me get a few windows out of my way. Alright, the first thing I want to do with this image is I want to duplicate this file. This way I'm not working off the original. It's very simple. You go to image duplicate and it pops up an untitled window right here. Let's go ahead and close the original so we're not making any changes by mistake. Okay, I'm trying to get this window to be the size I want. It's one of the nice things about floating windows, and also one of the hardest things. Okay, now that we have the window the size we want, let's get the image there. If you go to View, Zoom, Fit Image and Window, it automatically blows that image up to fill the space without going so far as to having it off the screen. Now the next thing we want to do is go View, Shrink Wrap, and that gets rid of the little white border on top and bottom. It shrinks the window to fit the image. Okay. First step. Let's double click on this file name right here and rename it to Original. I like having something I can compare to as I go through this process. Now the first thing I'm going to do is actually work off of the curves. The curves tool is very powerful. You can use it to correct minor brightness contrast issues or go so far as to complete a color correction in any of the major colors, blue, red, green, any of your RGB colors there. Now this is your curves window, your curves tool. Any changes you make here will go to your screen live. So like that change I made to the kind of a dark mid-tone area was made to the screen. The way you read this is dark midtones are all the way on the left, and highlights or light midtones are all the way on the right. You also have dark on the bottom and light on the top. That's the value. Okay, so we can adjust this. Let's put our darks about there. I didn't like how much was showing up, all the algae and stuff on the bottom of the pond. We don't really want that. So let's darken up the dark parts a little. And let's lighten up, let's go back to the original. Let's lighten up our highlights just a smidge. And the midtones, I'm going to darken just a touch more. And that actually gives us a nice pond lily that's really popping out at us. So let's go ahead and hit OK to save these changes. Now the next thing I want to do is duplicate this layer. Let's double click it again and let's title this Saturation. Now to be honest with you, I don't know how much, if any, saturation this image really needs. It looks pretty darn good to me. But let's go there anyways and make a change and see what kind of effect it has. Again, when you make a change, if you type in a number, just hit Tab and it'll apply to the screen. You can see it made a subtle difference to the lily pad and the lily flower itself without giving us excessive color noise. If you go too far, let's say we do 100%, first of all, it takes away almost all of the realism, and second of all, if you look close, you can see these little specks of color throughout the image. That's called color noise. Typically, I will go no higher than 20 on saturation. Anything above that really starts taking a lot away from the realism of the shot. So let's go ahead and hit OK there. And our final step, so we're going to sharpen up the image using a tool called Unsharp Mask. Now I know that sounds counterintuitive, and I'm not entirely certain why it's called that, but I do know it works. So let's take a look at that real quick. And to use it, we go to Colors, Components, and Decompose. And what we want to do is we want to strip this image down to 3 layers: hue, saturation, and value, the HSV. So we're going to do that and hit OK. This will open up a new window that just is very difficult to interpret. What we want to do is we can hide the hue and the saturation. We don't care about those. The value is the one we'll be working off of, so not only make certain that it's visible, make certain that it's the one selected by left-clicking on it once. Now we'll go to Filters, Enhance, Unsharp Mask. And what this will do is help remove any softness that is in the image that we don't want there. I'm going to use like the corner of one of these petals. That little crease right there will work just fine. Now, right now, you at a 0.5 amount, you can see a big difference. You go to 0, that's no difference. Go to 0.5. You can see a difference. And we can even go to 1. That's an even bigger difference, but I'm afraid that one might be a little too much. So we're going to compromise and do a 0.75. Hit OK. Now, unlike the others, this one is not real time, so you kind of have to publish it and then recompose it, which we're going to do right now, seeing how it's finished. And that you do that Colors, Components, Recompose, and that packages it back up and sends it back over to our file. But as I was saying, as this one, you have to send it back over and see if you like the changes or not. If you don't like the changes, it's very simple. You hide that layer and or delete it. If you like the changes, then you keep it. Now, from the saturation, if you look close at the lily pad, that's what it looked like after we completed the saturation. Now, after the Unsharp Mask, you can see there's a little bit more detail that's brought into both the flower and the lily pad. Not a lot. This photograph is a good example that small changes make a big difference. And to demonstrate that, let's go back and look at the original. There's our original flower. And I thought initially it was not going to require a lot of development. It was a good picture. This is what we have now. And it is a world different from this. We have more colors, it's more vibrant, it's more alive. And that's how I developed this photograph. Please feel free to leave comments. I look forward to reading each and every one. I hope you picked up at least one thing from this adventure, and I hope you found this beneficial. Thank you, and have a good day.